When you start recording, see it makes you up. That's what you're looking for. Now go stand where you in front of
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Here. It's recording. All right. Thanks. Love you. Hey guys, welcome to our channel, the Yorros. I'm Daniel. You guys will later on meet my wife, Carla. We are starting this channel to be able to talk to not just a community of people, but anyone who's really willing to listen. We want to talk to you guys about our life and the things that have transpired. Crazy things. I mean, one of them being the fact that I lost my father at a young age to cancer, and that was a huge battle. And my wife dealing with nursing and during the COVID crisis that she was working in our local hospital to myself, and while being here at home living with my wife, I fell ill to COVID-19 and I was hospitalized for 3 months. It was like a traumatic experience. It was absolutely awful. I went into multiple organ failure. They basically told my wife to prepare for the worst. One night they called her into the hospital and they basically told her, like, this should be it. And my wife just praying and fighting in the spirit for our lives. We are a young Christian couple who believe in the power of the Holy Spirit, and we believe in prayer. We believe it works. You know, now flash forward, I mean, it's past February 14th already. Over a year later, just a few days over a year, because I was hospitalized Valentine's Day in 2021. So flash forward to 2022. I'm here, I'm alive. There are some medical conditions that I have now that you guys we'll walk you through it later on in later videos, but the biggest one being right now that I'm currently on dialysis. And for those that don't know what it is, because I sure did not know what it was after getting or before getting sick, but dialysis is when you're in renal failure. And that's kind of like our lifestyle now. You know, we are a young couple who we love to travel, and not so much flying, but we drive. We love to drive across states, see new things. We love going to the mountains, the Georgia mountains, Tennessee mountains. We liked our freedom. We kind of had to put a hold on that last year after everything that happened. We're still dealing with a lot of things that we're trying to overcome, you know, whether it be emotionally, because, you know, I met that TikTok of the young Asian guy, that emotional damage. I can't get that out of my head. It's stuck in my head. Suffered a lot of emotional damage, and we are working through things as a couple, as individuals, as children of God. You know, we're bringing our things to the Lord, and Carla will share later on in other videos, you know, her side of the story as well. I mean, it's a process that has been miracle after miracle after miracle. I think there's a Maverick City song, I got miracles. So I'm sorry, but you know, I'm chasing the squirrel here. But that's kind of like how I feel in my life right now. It's been an insane journey. And I give glory to God that we're here. I'm happy that we're here, and I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it like, oh, you know, I'm living my best life, you know, woo. No, it sucks. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's been hard, like really difficult to deal with. A complete change in lifestyle, especially being on dialysis that we're doing at home, and it's been difficult trying not to let the dialysis at home consume my life, consume the bedroom, like the equipment that's in the room, and consume the office and the boxes that are in the office. And that's kind of what I want to share real quick. And it's to not let your problems consume you. Carla and I, we are a young couple who, like I said earlier, we appreciate our freedom. That's one thing that we've always been able to love. We were big on picking up and just going. I remember there was one weekend where I was getting off of work on Friday, I think, or Thursday, and we were getting ready for church, just talking about, like, you know, plans for the weekend, what we were gonna do. And she was like, you know, oh, I'm off from the hospital from Friday to Sunday. I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and I go back in on Monday. And I was like, well, why don't you look at that as do I. I had the same days off. And we were like, well, what do we do? We have to do something. We have all this time off. And we was like, well, let's go to Georgia. And, we live in mid Florida. And it was an awesome thing that we just came together and we unanimously decided like that we were going to take a road trip. So we quickly packed and we drove. We drove through the night. Well, not through the night, but late into the night. And we stopped in Georgia and we stopped in, I don't even know. We stopped somewhere in Georgia. Drove about like 9 hours, and it was awesome. We spent some time by Tybee Island. I don't know where that's at. Maybe you can comment where it's at, but or Tybee Beach. But we stopped there, and I mean, it was amazing. It was an experience, and that's what that's kind of like it's not embodies us as a couple, but that's one thing that is very important to us. Was being able to have that freedom to do that. And for a season, because I was in the hospital for 3 months, and I was on blood dialysis, and it was on a chest catheter that was right here in this area, and they would filter my blood. That's how I would get dialyzed, and I would have to go into this dialysis center. When I came out of the hospital, I would have to go to the dialysis center Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it was for 4 hours, a 4-hour treatment process. What sucked about it is that it was kind of like not midday, but basically I had to go in at 10:30. So I was there. Sometimes I had to go in at 11, and it wasn't fun. And it was something that I felt like I was trapped. Like I was afraid that would be the rest of my life, and I didn't want it to be. I wanted to have that freedom back. Like I was trying my very best to get better because I was still using a walker at the time. I couldn't stand up on my own. By the time I came home, I was still unable to stand up by myself. I had to use a walker to get around the house. If I got tired enough, a wheelchair. So it was tough. We had ramps everywhere in the house. We had arm bars everywhere in the house. I wanted to get rid of it so bad. I wanted my freedom back. So I was trying to build my strength, rehabilitation. I was trying to do the most that I could to get that back. I was allowing the situation I was in to really consume me in a way that I didn't like. I knew it was not from God because it was entering into or I was entering into a place of sadness, of depression, where I felt like it would be a situation I would never get out of. Although the physical surroundings were consuming and were detrimental to my mental health and my emotional health, I should not have let it affect me spiritually speaking. But how many of you guys know that we're human? I mean, it's impossible sometimes to not be in a situation like that and not be consumed. Not be consumed completely by what you're going through. It was hard. It was a really hard season. I'm here, I'm alive, and I wanted to just share a little bit at the end of this video. What I'm getting into now is how we did not let it consume us. So we couldn't just like take off and go on trips like we used to. We couldn't just go and take off to the beach. I wasn't even able to get in the water because of the chest catheter, which was terrible. I love the springs, and I wasn't able to do it. I can't do it because of the catheter. And now I'm on peritoneal dialysis. It's a whole different story. It's a whole different video. But there were a lot of things that we were not able to do. I could have easily just stopped there. Easily. I could have easily just said, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna stop doing everything. This is gonna be me now. I'm just a person on dialysis and that's it. I can't do anything I used to. I can't eat the things I used to. I can't go to the places I used to go. I can't do anything the same anymore. Everything has to change. I could have been that person. And if that does happen to you, I do not blame you because this is hard. It's difficult to deal with. It's real. It's real. I think that's the best way to put it. It's just a real problem. It's a real situation. I think if I would have become that person, I don't think many people would have been like, man, this guy is, he's just a real Debbie Downer, you know, this man is not really taking advantage of his life. No, they would have understood. Like, man, this guy is 24 years old and his whole life was literally just flipped upside down. It was absolutely awful. I think a lot of people, they would have understood, but I couldn't do that. I new marriage, you know, we were just fresh, 1.5 years married. I could not do that to my wife. I couldn't do that to myself. I have a home that I have to take care of, although I am sick and although I have this not life-threatening, it's not life-threatening. What is it? What can I call it? I'm in renal failure. Although I'm in renal failure, I can't let it consume my life. And I think I don't want you guys to do as I do because, oh, I'm great and whatnot. But if anything, I would love to be an example for you guys to follow. Not because I'm the greatest thing in the world, or not because I have it all figured out, but because I know for my emotional health, what I've seen in my own life, like, it works. Not allowing your problems to consume you, it works. We have to have dialysis equipment inside of our room, but we don't make it look like a hospital room. We, instead of using a little, little plastic shelves for hanging the bags and hanging the caps and all that stuff, and the sanitizing equipment, instead of using plastic shelves, we use DIY like wooden shelves that we made. We made it look pretty. We have the dialysis equipment in the corner, and it's not all consuming the room. It's not an eyesore, you know, for us. Well, it is for me because I know what it is. But we try not to make it an eyesore, and I give a big props to my wife because she's the one that really deals with all that. But we don't let it consume our lives physically, and we are definitely not letting it consume our lives mentally. Like, there are a lot of things that we have to get over, or that we've had to get over emotionally and mentally speaking. But I think in this situation that we've experienced, we've allowed God to really invade, you know, those intimate parts of our lives, especially with this new situation that we're going through with dialysis and COVID and life after COVID. We've allowed God to invade those parts in our lives, and I hope that you guys do the same. That's how we've been able to not let this situation consume us, and we ask that you guys do the same. So again, thank you for listening. I'm Daniel. My wife Carla will be in the next video. God bless. Bye. I'm still recording. I asked them to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay.